I'm Megan with Happy Tails Pet Care, and I'm a professional pet expert and nutrition consultant. My goal is to educate people about animals and help pet owners provide the best care to their beloved pets. See a pet in my video you like? Let me know, and I will feature that pet in more videos. Hi everyone, this video today is going to be about pet sugar gliders, how to take care of them, what to feed them, and how to bond with them. Sugar gliders are exotic pets, and their care level is difficult, mostly just because of diet. For the most part, if sugar gliders are properly trained and socialized, they do not bite. So a sugar glider will only bite if it hasn't been socialized with people. Sugar gliders will almost never pee on you because they don't want to pee where they're sleeping. They will wake up and want to come out of their pouch to pee. So if you have them with you during the day, they won't pee on you. They'll let you know when they need to go to the bathroom. By just waking up and starting to come out, then you know that they need to go to the bathroom, and you can put them down and let them do their business. If well cared for, sugar gliders do not smell. So an important thing to consider if you're getting a pet sugar glider is that you can't have just one sugar glider. It's very important that you have at least two. Sugar gliders are extremely social and they should never be kept by themselves. A lot of times I see people only getting one sugar glider, and this is really animal cruelty because they want to be with somebody else and it's cruel to keep them by themselves. Unfortunately, we can't spend 24/7 with our pets, so it's important that they have company while we're at work or while we just can't be with them. It's also really important to not keep a male and a female together if the male has not been neutered. This is really not healthy for the female. A lot of people keep a male and a female together because they think that they will only bond male and female pairs. However, that's not true. It's much better if you have either two males or two females, or however many sugar gliders you have, to just have either females or just males. If you do have both, it's very important that the males are neutered. A lot of people keep a male and a female together and they don't ever separate them, so they're constantly breeding, and this is really bad for the female. It cuts down on her life expectancy and she's just constantly malnourished from having babies all the time. Female sugar gliders are easier to introduce to each other later on. Even when they're older, they can successfully be introduced to each other. However, males will sometimes fight if they're not neutered, older males. So if you have males, it's better to get siblings, two males that have been together their entire life. That way they won't be fighting with each other. It's also important that if you have males housed together, that their cage is not in the same room as a cage full of females. They will start fighting if there's females close to them. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my sugar glider cage, which is behind me. I'll give you a little tour of what I have in there for them as far as toys and things like that. The measurements for this cage is 30 by 22 and it's 76 inches tall. I only have two sugar gliders, but this is actually a really big cage for them. And I'll show you another cage that you could also use for them as well. Here is my sugar glider cage. Toys that you can provide for your sugar glider is mostly things to climb on. Bird perches make great toys for them. And a lot of this stuff is also homemade, so you can make things for them to climb on and things for them to sleep in as well at home. That's very easy. You should have one pouch per sugar glider that you have in the cage in case they don't want to sleep with each other. They usually do sleep with each other, but sometimes they want time by themselves and they'll go into a separate bag. These perches here are for birds and they're to trim birds' toes, and they also work great for sugar gliders. So if you don't want to have to trim your sugar glider's nails by hand, you can provide several of these in the cage and you'll never have to trim their nails. And on this side is their food and water dishes. This is the smallest cage that I would put a sugar glider in, and this is a cage that I use for my possum. This cage, however, is only big enough for two sugar gliders, and I would also add a wheel for them. So I suggest a bigger cage, but this is the smallest that you could go with. And the measurements for the small cage is 25 by 13 and 36 inches tall. Most people make custom cages for sugar gliders. Those are really the ones that work the best. However, there's a lot of different types of cages that you can also use. Bird cages are excellent as long as the bars are 0.5 inches away from each other. Larger bird cages won't work very well. And the Critter Nation cage is also a great cage for them. You just want to take out the levels. So here's a picture that I got off the internet for this cage. And you can see that the levels have been taken out. These pellets here are for sugar gliders. I get mine from Exotic Nutrition, and those are really good for them. But again, this is something that they should be offered to see if they want to eat it, if they don't want to eat it. It's something that should be available, but this should not be their main diet. This should make up a very small portion of their diet. Okay, so let's talk about the different things that sugar gliders need to have in their diet. So the first thing is that sugar gliders need protein. They need a type of protein every single day. So there's different types of protein that you can provide them with. You can give them chicken, you can give them turkey, you can also provide mealworms and superworms. That's also something that they really love. You can also offer egg, and you can also give them crickets. And that just depends on your cage. If your cage will hold the crickets or if they'll escape, that's probably something that you don't want to put in there. And you can also provide them with dried bugs as well. A great recipe for sugar gliders is putting honey and chicken in a blender and then serving it to them like that. That's something that they really like. The other really important thing to always provide your sugar gliders with is fruits. There are a lot of people that say that grapes are not good for sugar gliders. However, grapes are fine for sugar gliders. You can give it to them with no problem. And there's a lot of fruit that you can give sugar gliders. You can give them apples, pears, banana, kiwi. There's just a lot of different things that you can provide them with. It really depends on your own sugar gliders to find out what they like and what their preferences are. I've had sugar gliders that love strawberries, and I've also had sugar gliders that hate strawberries. So it really just depends on what they like and what they're willing to eat. It's also important to give them some vegetables. Some sugar gliders won't tolerate vegetables in their diet every single day, and some will. So just see what your sugar glider likes. There's lots of different vegetables and fruits that you can give your sugar gliders. I'll put a link at the bottom of this video to my blog to make a whole list of fruits and vegetables that are safe for sugar gliders, as well as foods that you should avoid. Don't ever feed your sugar gliders any canned fruits or vegetables. Just stay away from those. Only feed fresh or frozen. And again, that also depends on your sugar gliders. My sugar gliders refuse to eat frozen fruits, so I have to keep fresh fruits available at all times. Foods that you should avoid feeding your sugar gliders is chocolate, any type of onion, garlic, mushrooms, things like that. Just stay away from that. Also, the only dairy product that your sugar gliders can have is yogurt drops, and that also needs to be as treats. It shouldn't be a lot of those. And sugar gliders should not be allowed to eat fruits and nuts. Those just aren't healthy for them. Okay, so when you get your sugar glider, usually they are not tamed, especially sugar gliders that are sold in pet shops. Those are almost never tamed. If you get them from a breeder, they might be more tame. So let's assume that you got one from a pet shop and that they're not tamed. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get a bonding pouch, something like this. Homemade ones are really easy to do. And you can keep your sugar glider in there and just keep this close to you throughout the day. You can put it in your pocket. Just keep them close to you so that they start getting used to being around you. Your scent should rub off on this pouch so that the sugar glider can start getting used to your smell. When you're at work or you're not at home and can't have your sugar glider with you, you can also put an article of clothing inside the pouch with them so that they can start getting used to your smell. The sugar gliders bark a lot when they first see you, especially if they aren't tame. So if they aren't used to you, the noise can be quite intimidating once you hear it. But it's okay, they're just making a lot of noise in order to try to scare off a predator. But if you're consistent with them, they're going to stop doing that barking noise once they see you. And don't be afraid of getting bit. Their bites are really not that hard. So it's really important to start touching them, picking them up, and getting them used to you. So I'm going to turn off some of these lights so that I can show you my sugar glider. Sugar gliders are very sensitive to light, so just try to keep some of the lights off when you are interacting with them. And this is Beastie. They are very affectionate, very cute, and very loyal little pets. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know if you have any questions about sugar gliders. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you can get more videos about animals. Thanks!